very first place you have to go to. You have to go to that place within that you can't cut in half. That, if you take silence and try to cut it in half, it's like zero in mathematics. No matter how many times you cut it in half, you still have just zero. And it's the same with silence. And so, Melville, the great novelist, said that God's one and only voice is silence. And Pascal said that, all of man's troubles stem from his inability to sit quietly in a room alone. If you can get quiet and just pay attention to what's in there and then let go of that and learn how to get quiet without falling asleep, that's one of the first steps. The other is to just, one of the things that I learned in studying the I Am discourses is that you can never know the way to higher consciousness as long as you have judgment, criticism, or condemnation towards any of God's creations. So it's getting rid of the judgment. You look at all of these beautiful flowers out here, and then you see a whole string, and someone said to me, well, that's just a whole field of weeds. And I said, the only difference between a flower and a weed is a judgment. It's just a judgment. And if you can get past judgment and just, the Beatles had it right. It's just let it be, just let it be, and just allow and be in a state of gratitude. I just went for a swim at your Y over here and came back and got into the shower, and it was a nice warm shower running over, washing, and I constantly remind myself to stay in a state of gratitude just for the shower, and it was all misty and kind of cool out there, and just to appreciate the mist. And when you're in the swimming pool, to just appreciate your body being able to move through the water, and to stay in that state of gratitude and appreciation for everything. Whoever you encounter, even the things that you think shouldn't be coming your way, they're oftentimes the greatest gifts that you've ever had. It's like, I haven't had alcohol in my body for close to 30 years now. And those years of drinking and those years of being out of control and the painful things that we had back in our early life, my years in an orphanage and so on, those are the greatest teachers that have ever come my way. My father walked out on us, abandoned us, didn't have anything to do with any of us. And it turns out he was one of the greatest teachers that ever came into my life. I don't even know that in this universe that he incarnated into this world to do one thing, and that is to behave like a jerk, towards all of it, so that I could get to a state in my life where I could end up at his grave, and rather than being full of rage, forgiveness. And forgiveness is like, what Mark Twain often said, that forgiveness is the fragrance that the violet sheds on the heel that has crushed it. To be able to send love. That's the message of all of the great spiritual masters. That's what Jesus' message was. Just be an instrument of love. Just send love wherever you go. And when you have that kind of divine love within you, everything in your world just seems to change. And things start to work for you because you're aligned finally with the source from which we all originated, which is God. All things are possible, right? So what does that leave out? What does all things are possible leave out? Absolutely nothing, right? So all things are possible. And when you begin to adopt this kind of awareness and this kind of understanding that all things are possible and whatever is necessary for you to fulfill your dharma and your journey, as long as you stay connected to this, which is what God is, isn't it? God is love. It's not me, I didn't say it. It's right out of the New Testament. God is love, and he that dwelleth in love dwelleth in me, and I in him. And when enough of us get it, when enough of us align with that kind of awareness, we will begin to make the kinds of shifts that will bring this planet to a whole new level of awareness and consciousness. We will get rid of the wars. We will get rid of the hatred, the divisions. When we recognize that everything is in balance in the universe, and it all comes from consciousness, and consciousness is located in all of us. And when we are out of balance, we project that kind of energy outward. In the Course in Miracles, they talk about that all you have to do is try to inspire somebody else to have a willingness to want to change. And then whatever it is that you need will be there. The teachers will show up, the books will be there. There's teachers everywhere, and there's an old Buddhist proverb that says, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. You don't have to look for your teachers. You just have to go for your readiness. You just have to be willing. And as soon as you're willing, it'll all show up. Everything will show up exactly on time, the way it's supposed to. And you can get your ego out of the process and say, I'm just being done, and I'm just going to be done in the way that God wanted me to be done, rather than taking on this thing we call an ego, which is really an acronym for edging God out. We edge God out of our lives, and we say, we'll take over. I'm in charge of this. I'll do everything. But the fact is, you're in charge of nothing. The only free will that you have is the decision whether you're going to stay aligned with God or aligned with something other than that.